Hi guys, it is Mr. Fed. Welcome back to the channel. I'm back in the man cave. This is the first video I've posted in about 3 weeks. Couple reasons for that is, first one, I was on holiday down in West Country in Devon, and then when I got back from holiday I got struck down with the old coronavirus, and then after that I had to go back to work. So I thought I'd break myself in gently with a quick 10 questions video. Now these are 10 questions which seem to be doing the rounds on YouTube channels, on sort of clicky YouTube channels. I think the idea is that you have to get tagged first and then you answer the 10 questions. But because my channel is smaller than a piss hole in the snow, the chances of me getting tagged in anything are slim. So I thought I'll just lift the 10 questions anyway and answer them, because I was actually quite intrigued as to what my answers would be. So I actually stole these 10 questions from a YouTube channel called Jo Gaming Girly. So because I've lifted them from there, I will post the link to her channel in the description below. But anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at these 10 questions. So I've written them down on my scribbly notepad here. Question 1. What sort of games do you like to play? So my favourite type of games to play are generally JRPGs. I specifically like turn-based JRPGs. So good examples of those would be Octopath Traveler, which was absolutely brilliant, and Octopath Traveler 2, Bravely Default, games like that. We'll go into my sort of favourite video game series later in these questions. But I also still quite like a sports sim. So Major League Baseball, you've got Major League Baseball, the show, on Switch at the moment. So I'm really enjoying that, and sort of really craving a decent NFL and ice hockey game, but you know, maybe on the Switch too. Question number 2, how much time do you spend playing games? So I find it very difficult to play a game longer than 2 hours in one sort of sitting. So I generally play games between maybe 1 hour a day, maybe 2 hours. So on average over a typical week, I guess I play between 6 to 14 hours of gaming per week. That's about all really, work and life and marriage sort of afford me. So question number 3. Do you think games can be educational? Absolutely. If you just look at how many simulator games there are around these days, so you've got people learning how to fly planes using flight simulators. You've got people learning how to drive Formula One cars using driving simulators. And I think nowadays, isn't your hazard perception test on your driving test now a virtual reality type thing? I mean, I don't know. I passed my driver's license some 25 years ago, so I didn't have a hazard perception test back then, but let me know in the comments. Question 4, what don't I like about video games? Easy one this, and that is video game rage. I cannot stand video game rage. I cannot stand bad losers. I can't stand people picking up their controllers and throwing them across the room, or punching TV screens or anything like that, shouting down headsets. Can't stand it, got no time for it. It's just a game after all, isn't it? So video game rage is a definite no-no. Question 5, how much do I spend on games? So I guarantee myself at least one game a month, depending on what that game is. If it's a AAA title and I know I'm going to get like 100 hours or 120 hours out of it, then I'll probably just buy that one. If there are no decent releases that month and I'm sort of picking up a couple of maybe indie games, then I might pick up 2 or 3. So per month I spend anything between 50 to 150 pounds a month. I don't spend more than 150 though, because that's just ridiculous. I'm quite big on actually finishing and completing a game first before I go on to the next one. It's very rare that I don't finish or complete a game before I pick up and play the next one. Okay, question number 6. What is your favourite console? My favourite console has to be the Nintendo Switch. This console is nearly 8 years old now. I've had it from its release. The games are brilliant. The way you can undock it and take it portably anywhere you go is brilliant. And now the Nintendo Switch online service is starting to have a bit of life to it. So we've got games like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. I've been able to play all those excellent JRPGs from the SNES like Breath of Fire and Breath of Fire 2, all those brilliant Zelda games which I've not played before on the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, like the Minish Cap. So yeah, I mean, the Switch has absolutely knocked it out of the park. I mean, my second and third favourite consoles would be the Wii U and the Super Nintendo. I am a Nintendo fanboy. I've never had a PlayStation and I've never had an Xbox. I'm strictly, purely Nintendo linear and down that Nintendo sort of pathway. Number 7, what's your favourite video game? Okay, I will go and show you. Quick break in the video there, but you can take your pick from any single one of these. They are all absolutely brilliant. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Golden Torna, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade Chronicles is the greatest gaming franchise I've ever played in my life, ever. I mean, I said that I sort of cap my time playing a game at any one time to 2 hours. Unless it's Xenoblade Chronicles, I could spend days in the Xenoblade universe. I just cannot get enough of these games. You know, they're Nintendo exclusives, so if you have a PlayStation or an Xbox and you've never played these games, I mean, this is a reason to get a Nintendo Switch alone. These games are absolutely fantastic. Moving on, question number 8. What's your favourite video game movie? Now, more than a couple of years ago, I reckon this would have been quite hard to answer because most video game movie conversions are pretty rubbish, but I'm going to go with the first Sonic the Hedgehog, which starred Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. I thought that film was absolutely brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it. I should really give another shout out to the new Super Mario film as well. I really enjoyed that. So there are a couple of recent video game movie conversions which have actually been quite good. I should also give a shout to manga, Japanese manga. Now they've done some decent video game conversions as well, and I remember watching the manga version of Street Fighter 2 some 30 years ago, and I thought that was really good. There was a decent level of violence in that, and one particular fight that stood out was Chun-Li versus Vega, and Chun-Li kicked Vega out of her hotel window, and I think Vega died in the film, so it was really, really good. A decent amount of violence, decent amount of gore, so check that one out if you haven't done so already. Question 9, what's your favourite video game character? I'm going to go for Samus from Metroid. Samus is just one badass. The whole gender reveal at the end of the original Metroid and Nintendo is still ranked as one of the sort of greatest video game moments of all time. But not just that, her games are brilliant, her gear, her equipment, the way she levels up and can explore new areas of the level that were previously blocked off to her are absolutely brilliant. I think there's so much with Samus as well that can be done because I don't really know anything about her backstory, to be honest. How she became the sort of bounty hunter that she is. So yeah, my favourite video game character is Samus. I think I've got the last question. What's your least favourite type of game? I did a video about it, and I think Raincode is quite a good example. Point click mini game type style games or narration games that are sort of novel based which don't have too much interactive gameplay. They are my least favourite type of games. Now, an exception to this, because there's always an exception to the rule, is Monkey Island. Monkey Island, the original Monkey Island on the Amiga 500, is a point and click game, but that was absolutely fantastic. And the remake of Monkey Island and the new Monkey Island games that are coming out, I still get a lot of pleasure out of those games. But generally, point and click games, I think I played a game recently called Siberia. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. I mean, you might be better suited for PC gamers, I suppose. Easier sort of mechanics with the mouse and things like that. So those are the 10 questions, guys. Just a way to break me back into releasing some new videos. I'm going to leave it there, and I will, post any answers to any of these 10 questions in the comments that you like, and I will see you in the next one.